Hey everyone, glad you guys are here. Welcome to our webinar today. It is Christmas in November, and I decided to dress up in the holiday season today. I've got my cool little Christmas tacky sweater. So today I'm actually joining you guys from the beautiful hotel room in Miami, Florida. I'm at a conference this week with some of the top digital marketers from around the world, and it's a joy that I get to come and hang out, learn from other people, and it's just a great time getting to hang out with other digital marketers. So today I'm joining you from Miami. Would love to know where you're joining us from in the comments. I see Lubbock, Texas represented, Recom Tech. Wherever you're coming from today. Oh, there's Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know if y'all have a cool like Guns Up or like Kansas City Chiefs type thing, whatever y'all have down there in Memphis. But we're glad you're here wherever you're joining us from. Today we're going to be taking a look at your Christmas preparation. So as you all know, Christmas is just around the corner, and if you are not preparing already, literally this is the week to get going on it. And so we really want to help you get ready as a church to be able to reach your community, to reach your congregation, communicate with them all about what you have going on at your church, because we all have an amazing gift to give others, and that's the gift of Jesus and the good news of his birth. And so it's something that I'm excited to share, and I hope you're excited to share with your community. I hope you're getting ready, making plans. I'm sure most of you already have. If you haven't, here's your flag, here's your cue. Let's get that going. So also, if you had to see my cool setup, this background, it is not virtual. This is the cool background that I get in my hotel room. If you saw the way that I had to hang things up, put lights in certain ways to get any type of live stream today going, you would be laughing at what you see hanging behind me, lights, all that. But I'm a little bit laughing at the natural background. This is not imposed by any means. It is just the beautiful Miami hotel selection here. So anyways, I'm excited. We've got a lot to dive into. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Forgive me, I only have one screen, so you're going to see a whole lot of windows pop up here in just a moment as soon as I get my screen shared, and then we'll jump into all the things that we have to go through today. So here we go. Get ready for the matrix. Here it comes. Boom. All right. So we're going to hop over, take a look at Christmas in November. So today what we're going to be covering, we're going to be creating a winning Christmas landing page. So we're going to look at that. We're also going to look at how to reach seekers through Google Ads and how to connect with new visitors through Facebook ads. So again, the why. Why would we do all this? Why would we spend extra time creating a landing page, working on Google Ads, Facebook ads? Well, you have the good news, like we talked about. You have that good news of Jesus Christ being born into the world, and that is an amazing gift that you have to share with others. I don't need to be the first one to tell you, that more people are looking for a church when it comes to Christmas services. I always love to tell my wife's story. She grew up in a family that didn't go to church. They weren't believers, and it was a friend who invited her to Easter service, and her mom looked around at the family and said, well, I guess since we've been invited, we better go. And they went, and that is the day that forever changed that family lineage. It changed my wife's life. It changed her mom, her brothers. It changed a whole family tree because of a simple invitation. And you have the power to change people's lives because of the good news of Jesus Christ and inviting them to experience God's salvation, God's plan of salvation through Jesus this Christmas. So I just want to encourage you. You have an amazing opportunity this Christmas to just simply invite people. And so we're just going to give you 3 simple tools to really focus in on to help you better invite people and more people to experience the joy of Jesus this Christmas. So a big why for me, that's huge. An invitation can change somebody's life. So it's going to be a little tough for me, so I'm going to bounce back and forth. We'll hold questions maybe a little bit more towards the end since I don't have 2 screens. I can't really see if somebody's shooting a question. If you have a question, feel free to drop it in there. I just probably won't be able to get to it till the end here. But let's take a look. The very first building block that we need to focus on to help you really reach your community this Christmas is your Christmas landing page. Now, a few things. If you're a part of our church growth package, we're doing all these things for you already. We've started this morning on building these pages out for you. So if you're part of our church growth package, you can just sort of sit back and know that we're taking care of this. We're reaching out to you to get some of these details. If you're not a part of our church growth package, some of these things might be some good things to take notes on. We'll also have a replay of this whole webinar so you can come back as well. But it's important to go ahead and get a Christmas landing page built out today. The reason why is you don't want to wait until a week or two before Christmas Eve to get a Christmas landing page going, and that's because of SEO. If somebody in your town is searching for a Christmas Eve service in Lubbock or a Christmas Eve service in Miami, Google will not give you as much credit, and Google might not even know that you have a Christmas Eve service page if you build it the week before Christmas Eve. Today is the day to be building it, because what you need to do is build it today, and then once we make sure we have all the right information, we're going to submit a manual index to Google to say, Google, please pick this up. This is important. They'll index it and begin to rank you based on those keywords on that page, and hopefully you'll begin to show up high if somebody's searching for a Christmas Eve service in your town. Now, hopefully I say, because there's a few tips and tricks, if you can do these things, it'll help you in your chances of getting higher on the page whenever somebody's searching for keywords around Christmas Eve in your town this winter. So, a few things. So publish early, that's one. 2, get backlinks, and that starts right now. So let's go ahead and publish your page today. I'm going to help walk you through how to do that. If you're a part of our church growth package, we've already got that going for you. But the next thing is you want to start getting backlinks, and backlinks aren't just to gain. So one, you're getting SEO credit for that, because the more backlinks you have to this new page, the better. The more that Google says, wow, this page is more popular than other people's, because they don't have any backlinks. Yours does. So you want to begin to reach out to your local newspaper, reach out to your local radio stations. These are great folks that are looking to feature these types of things, because they're really wanting people to come to their page. As I was flying into Miami today, I just Googled Christmas Eve services in Miami, and you know what came up? A newspaper article was the first thing that came up, and it said that here are the top 10, and I'm sure those people emailed them or connected, or may have just been totally organic. But either way, local news stations are wanting to publicize where people can get plugged in this Christmas. So be sure and reach out to local newspapers, local radio stations. Also begin to post that link to this new landing page on social media. You also, using our platform, if you're using our platform, we have a tool called Rank Math built into the back end of your website, and has a great little checklist to help you walk through how to optimize that page for certain keywords. So we really want to focus on adding some images and optimizing those images. We also really want to focus on getting your Google My Business map on the page. It's a really big ranking factor we've seen really move the needle for folks over the last 6 months. If we have a Google map on that page, Google loves to see their own products on a website. They will give you a little extra credit for having a Google map to your place. Also, it's very easy. For a newcomer who's never been to your church, it makes perfect sense to have a map that they can see and click on to get directions this Christmas Eve. So go ahead and do that. Also, you want to make sure to optimize your title and meta description. Now, the next thing is, let's talk about what keyword we want to optimize for. We want to optimize for Christmas Eve candlelight service and town name. That's going to be the winner. Now, I want to show you why. So what I did earlier today, too, is while I was on the airplane, I was like, let's do the full SEO workup on this. Let's see, what are people actually searching for around Christmas keywords, Christmas service keywords. So I was actually shocked. I initially thought, hey, I think more people are searching for Christmas Eve service or Christmas Eve services. Look at where those are at. Christmas Eve service, Christmas Eve services, monthly search volume. Now, this is a little bit skewed, but this also does take into account, if I were to click on these, it would show us an actual peak, and it is taking into account December, and you'll see a month-long view of course, in Christmas, December time, these all peak up, but average monthly searches is much less for Christmas Eve service or Christmas Eve services. So that is huge. If you do not do a candlelight service, this is number one. I would encourage you to go to your head pastor this week and beg them, can we please have a candlelight service? I'm guessing most churches have some type of candlelight integrated into their Christmas Eve services already. But if you do not, I would encourage you, let this be your inaugural first year of a candlelight service at your church. so that you can be found whenever people are searching for candlelight service. Now, that is just wild to see the ginormous difference between candlelight service at 1,900 monthly average searches and Christmas Eve services only around 100. And again, that is taken into account the swing up in December, but just something to see there. Now, Christmas service is high up, so take a look at that. So that's where we really want to go with the keywords around candlelight service, around Christmas service, not necessarily Christmas Eve service. So keep that in mind. If you're optimizing a page yourself, don't feel like you have to say Christmas Eve. Maybe it's candlelight Christmas service in Lubbock, Texas, in Memphis, Tennessee, wherever you're coming from, make sure to include that name. All right, so let's keep moving along. On this Christmas landing page, there's a few main things you want to really think through. People are coming to that page because they don't know any information about your Christmas service. So be sure and give them really clear details about your Christmas service. Give them details about the time of when things are happening, of are there kids services available? What type of service do you have? Is it contemporary? Is it traditional? Make sure to really include all of those things. Think of what questions might a new person have that's never been before, and how can you help answer them? So be sure to have those on that page. Also, like, what should you wear? Maybe communicate that through some pictures. I know a lot of people dress up a little bit more on Christmas services. Maybe find some pictures so that people feel comfortable in their jeans and a t-shirt, or is everybody in tuxes and ties? Try and help communicate that, maybe through words, maybe through images, but think about that. Another few things that you want to be sure to have on your Christmas landing page is a plan your visit. We want to help newcomers be able to raise their hand so that they can be easily found, easily identified, and really overly welcomed. You want my wife, when she was first invited to Easter service way back when she was 9 years old, if she wasn't really overly welcomed, and now Christmas and Easter, there's a lot of people, usually an influx of people, and it can sometimes be tough for your greeter team to know who's new or who's just family visiting. Either way, it can be tough to greet and shake every hand and make every single person really feel welcome. So one of the ways we encourage you to go that extra mile, that extra step, is to put a plan your visit form on your website. Now, if you're a Church Growth Package member with us, we are setting up a customized workflow with you on how we can automate some of this, about how we can maybe, as soon as somebody plans a visit, we could notify your connections pastor, or notify who's in charge of calling them and welcoming them and telling them, hey, thank you so much. We saw that you planned to visit for Christmas Eve services. Is there any questions I could help you answer for you about our church? And just connect with them, whether that's through phone or through SMS. If you're not a member of our growth package, think about how you could just implement that with a simple form, and maybe email somebody and write out some steps in that email of, hey, this person and this family just planned a visit for a Christmas service. Here are the next steps in following up. After you do this, hand it off to the next person for the next follow-up. So just a few thoughts there. The next thing you want to take a look at is tracking. You want to make sure, one, you have Google Analytics installed. You want to make sure if you're running Google ads, Facebook ads, that you have good conversion tracking turned on. That sends information back to Google, back to Facebook, back to Instagram, so they really know who's interacting with your ads and who's really filling out or planning your visit, and really your target audience. The more they know, the better they can use your ad spend with them to better target folks that are really looking for Christmas service this Christmas. All right, I know that was a lot. I'm gonna just keep going, and if you have some questions on that, be sure and leave them. We're gonna keep going. It won't be too long to get to questions. So be sure, if you have any questions on Christmas landing page, be sure and drop those in the comments now. We'll come back to questions here at the end. So again, that's everything on the landing page. Now, this is my plea to everyone. Please, 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 please go to your website today and clean up any old Christmas pages. If somebody is searching for a Christmas service in Memphis, or a Christmas service in Germantown, or a Christmas service in Miami, and by chance last year's page shows up They're going to probably have the wrong time. Maybe you're doing it at the same time, but there's not going to be all the most up-to-date information. So you have two options here. One, you can update an old page, and that is perfectly fine, and that's great. If you already have a page going that you've used for past Christmases, it's great to go ahead and reuse that page for SEO. The biggest thing we would encourage you to do is put 2025 at least in a few places on that page. That notifies Google that this is the most up to date. Also, you updating it right then sort of will signal them, hey, it was last updated in 2020 or in 2024. So you want to be sure to include the year. You want to be sure to update as much information as you can to make sure it's correct. But you wouldn't imagine how many people I've seen come to services that are at the wrong time because they somehow found last year's information. So if you don't know how to set up a redirect, reach out to us. If you're a customer of ours, we'd love to help you out with that. If you're a Church Growth member, don't worry, we're already doing this for you. So that's all we need to talk about on that. All right, so that's your landing page. That is building block number one that we need to focus on like this week. Get that going right now. Now, step number two, now that we have this great Christmas landing page built, we need to now create some ads around that. Now, as nonprofits and churches, we have access to up to $10,000 a month in free Google Ads. This is a great month to capitalize on that and spend some of that free money out there that Google's giving you to market. Now, setting up your Google Ads, you have to have that landing page built first. It needs to be accurate. It needs to be good. And we're going to target people searching for certain keywords like Christmas Eve services, candlelight service, church Christmas, Christmas story. We're going to begin to target some of those keywords and bring them to this landing page. A few thoughts, if you're doing this on your own, there are some unique things that I would say are really big winners. One is to add assets, and the number one would be images. And that is if somebody searches for a candlelight service, upload an image to your Google ad of a candlelight. Now, they're not going to let you add all your service times, and you don't want all your service times on there. It's really just to grab people's attention because you get a free image in a Google ad, whereas on most of the rest of the page, they don't get an image added next to their search result. But you do, being a Google ad at the top. So just something good to know there. So that's Google Ads. Again, if you're a Church Growth member, we're doing that for you. If you're setting that up on your own, I would just say, take a look, screenshot this. We'll also have this in a cheat sheet document for you at the end of just some good keywords to go after, along with our highest ranking keyword sort of hierarchy for you to see as well. So think through headlines, descriptions. You want to include the time in your descriptions because some people may just be running late and they are in panic mode like, oh my goodness, we missed this last church service. And they're frantically looking, and to have your service time in your Google ad description is a win because somebody might not even click on it, but they might come just because they saw that as they're searching. So just a quick tip there. Let's move now to Facebook and Instagram ads. So the difference, Google ads is whenever somebody is on Google searching for any of these keywords or keywords like them. We can set these keywords to be broad match. So if somebody searches best church Christmas or best candlelight service, or candlelight service in Germantown, or candlelight service in North Germantown. We want to set these to broad match so we can really catch those folks searching some of those various keywords. Now, that'd be really somebody seeking you out. Now, Facebook and Instagram ads is a really cool point where we can say, hey, let's run some targeted ads in my town to people who aren't necessarily looking for us. They might be like my wife's family that we're not looking to go to church that Christmas or that Easter. And there's plenty of folks in your community that are not actively searching or thinking about going to going to church this Christmas. So you can use Facebook and Instagram ads to invite them. And if you really do this right, man, you can see a huge return on people that were not even looking for a church service. All of a sudden, they're coming, their lives have been changed, they are just fully invested and just following after the Lord. You can see huge life change through Facebook and Instagram ads. I love it. So a few things around Facebook and Instagram ads. It does take time, and that's where I put together this calendar sort of for you guys to think through that. So think through this with me. You need to plan out those ads right now. Be filming those ads. We're going to go through a little shot list here in a second of some shots that you can go do this week with your pastor, with some families in your church. But you need to be filming this week. Why? Because next week you need to be editing those videos. You need to be getting them ready, adding captions, cutting the ends of it. Maybe there's some ums or some stutters in there that you need to cut out. You need to be editing next week, because the week after that is Thanksgiving, and I'm hoping you're getting to take some time off and really enjoy and rest. Or maybe you didn't get any of the past 2 weeks worth of work done, so you have Monday through Wednesday there to get some catch-up work done, but you have Thanksgiving, so remember that. That's crazy. You're going to probably be gone and not be able to get much work done that week, so remember that. Then we come up the next week and we're into December. And this is really when you want to start launching your ads. You want to start to launch your ads in that first week of December. That way it gives Facebook, Instagram some time to really evaluate what's working, what's not working. If you're in our church growth package, we're going to be helping you evaluate those things and begin to adjust budgets for you based off of what's working, what's not working. We might even reach out and say, hey, your videos are taking off. And I will say every town is wildly different, and every town has a different culture, a different demographic that you're reaching, whether that's a younger demographic, an older demographic. There's a lot of things that play into how people are going to interact with your ads. And I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, video is just going to be amazing for you. It might be for somebody, it might not be for somebody else. Maybe a carousel ad, or maybe still images, or maybe just a graphic just saying, you're welcome here this Christmas. Like, whatever it is, we need to test that. And you can't test that in just 7 days leading up to Christmas. So that's where you really want to have ads ready to go as we head into that first week of December, so we can start to slowly spend some budget, see how people are reacting to them, and then really as we head up into that last 10 days before your Christmas Eve services, we can really increase budget and have a good idea of what might work better than others, so that we can best use your budget on your Google or on your Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, Facebook and Instagram unfortunately doesn't give you free $10,000 a month to advertise. This is all coming from your credit card that they'll charge you every couple $100 or every $10 as you first get started. So think about your budget, what you want to spend this year in your Facebook and Instagram ads. So be thinking through that. That's Facebook and Instagram ads. So let's take a look. And again, if you have any questions on the Google ads or Facebook and Instagram ads, go ahead and leave those in the comments. I'll hop off my screen share here in just a moment, and we'll take a look at some of those. So pictures and videos. So a few things on your creative. It's really, really good to have as many stills as you can of past years' Christmas Eve services. That's great for your website. That's great for your social media. It's great for organic posts and ads. It's great for that Google Ads image that I just mentioned about somebody holding up a candle for your candlelight service whenever somebody searches for candlelight service in Germantown. So be sure and check that out. Think about your pictures and videos from previous years. Also, do you have any sermon series graphics that you're going through this Christmas that would be great to put on your website, great to put on social media? Now, here are 3 shots I would encourage you to think about this Christmas for your Christmas ads. So one would be a selfie of a pastor inviting people to your church. And one of the reasons why we talk about it just being a selfie is whenever people see an ad, you can naturally tell as you're scrolling through social media if something's an ad or if it just seems like one of your friends just talking about something. So maybe there's an iconic park that your pastor can go walk his dog at. Just something very natural that somebody wouldn't just be like, oh, that's an ad and I'm just going to scroll right by it. But find a place, maybe it's at your church, outside your church, maybe it's in your sanctuary, that your pastor can just record himself inviting people to join him this Easter at y'all's church. Another thought is record a heartfelt story coming from your pastor or somebody on staff, or even better, somebody from your church, somebody who's experienced the power of Jesus through your church's Christmas Eve services, and how their lives were impacted through coming to your Christmas Eve services in the past. Or maybe it could be just sharing the good news of Jesus's birth and the power that that has. It might even be an invitation into your sermon series and talk a little bit about the sermon series that's leading up to your Christmas Eve services. But find some way to really connect with people more than just inviting them, but share with them a little bit more depth than just a simple invitation. Really pull on those heartstrings and share those heartfelt life change stories. So finally, the third shot we want to look through is family or other staff inviting or sharing those stories. It's great to have people on staff, but even more powerful when people are like, oh yeah, I know that family. I see them in the grocery store all the time. Like, or, oh, my kid plays baseball with them. Like, man, I didn't know they went to that church. I'm going to join them for this Christmas. Boom, they click on the ad. Boom, they're on your site. They're planning a visit. They're getting followed up with. They come to church for the first time. Lives are changed. So just think about, those are three creatives that you could think through, and as far as video invites and some other ideas just to get your ads going. So, all right, so that is a lot. I'm going to go ahead and hop off screen share. I'm excited to come over to the comments. I would love to hear in the comments, maybe what are some takeaways? What's something that you learned today? What's something that you're like, man, I got to get going on this. Like this, I'm going to take this away today and go start working on X, Y, or Z. Or leave in the comments your questions, and we'll hop over there and answer some questions now. Let's see, we'll stop the matrix. There we go. All right, so let's see, some questions. Any questions? If you have a question, now would be the time to ask. There we go. Thanks, Lawrence. Yes, I like to keep webinars quick. We're not going to be here for an hour. My goal is even to wrap up in the next 5 minutes. So if you have some questions about anything, now's the time to ask. Yes, love the impact of a selfie video. That's great input as well. I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen and show you guys just a couple things. So screen here, we'll go back to the matrix. Get ready. All right, boom. All right, so I just built out this simple landing page for you guys to think through. Now, this is just simply a graphic of the sermon series for this Christmas Eve. Now, you will notice whenever you hover over it, it's SEO optimized for Christmas Eve candlelight service in Lubbock. So that's a big one there. We're going to talk a little bit about the joy of today and that Christmas Eve sort of sermon. We're going to talk about the actual service. How long is it? This is huge. I have 4 toddlers, and whenever there's not childcare for my kids, and they need to be in a service and be sitting still and not catching other people's hair on fire at Christmas Eve, which, public service announcement, this does happen. I was the person in charge of volunteers at a church, and towards the end of the candlelight service, a whole section started clearing out very quickly. You know why? Because somebody's hair started to catch on fire. True life story, it does happen. In that, I would say this is huge. This is so encouraging for me as a parent with 4 toddlers to know, how long is the service? Is there childcare? Hey, for little ones, we have glow sticks so they won't catch somebody's hair on fire. Hey, if they're under 4, there's childcare. All those things are great details. A few other thoughts here. Again, you'll see here's the Google map embedded. We're trying to make Google happy, but also trying to help people really easily find us. Childcare, we're going to really clearly highlight that. We're going to highlight the service times, the location. So just an idea of just a landing page. And again, this could be a base and a plan your visit button. We have plan your visit. So think about how you might want to build that out. Again, if you're part of our church growth package, we're going to be doing that for you. Now, quick tip. I love to find some helpful shortcuts. So what we've done, I have that little graphic for you. If you're looking for an easy Canva graphic, we've got a template for you. I'll share that with you. I also put together a ChatGPT prompt, a few prompts that will help you maybe get your thoughts rolling. Because sometimes it's like, well, hey, I'm not an expert at SEO. I don't really know how to write some of this copy here to really be optimized for SEO. Well, ChatGPT can actually help you do that. And so what I did here is I put together a simple prompt for you and some bold areas where you could replace and put some of your information. And that is actually the exact content that's on here. I've gone in and edited it and spruced it up to be a little bit more of their look and feel. But it really does a pretty good job. And most importantly in this too is also brings in some of those SEO things that you might be like, Zach, if I'm doing this on my own and I'm not a part of the church growth package, I need some help with some of the SEO and what to do on that. ChatGPT knows those things. Now, the cool thing too, you can say, hey, now write 3 scripts that I can use for Instagram Reels, include a hook I can use to put on the text, to put text on the screen. And now another one, now write 3 social media posts that I can use with still images and inviting people to join us this Christmas. And now 4th and final prompt, now write an email that I can share with our congregation, encouraging them to invite others to Christmas Eve services this Christmas. All right, now I'm going to show you what that outputs here. That puts out these nice little blocks of text for the website that I can copy and paste. Now look here, these are some of the social media reels to record. Are you looking for joy this Christmas? Celebrate Christmas Eve in Lubbock. Why Christmas matters to us. Wow. So ChatGPT is just a tool. I just want to encourage y'all on that. I wouldn't recommend just totally copying and pasting things, but as I look at these, I would say, wow, this one stood out to me. That I might not have thought of that hook or using why Christmas matters to us. That's an amazing hook. As soon as I was reading through these 3 reels, that would be the one I would stop. And ChatGPT could be a great tool just to give you that simple hook. So I'd encourage you to try it out if you've never used ChatGPT. It could be something that just helps you think a little bit more creatively and get outside of your box. So here's some social media still, and then here's the email that you could take a look at and just get some ideas from. So anyways, I hope that could be helpful for you too. I just want to show you some real life practical thoughts on a layout of a page and also maybe just some ideas to help you think creatively this Christmas. So I'm going to hop out of the matrix there. So I hope this webinar today was helpful for you. If you're doing this on your own today, I would encourage you to get started. Don't be discouraged that you're not behind, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but you will be behind if you wait till after Thanksgiving to create a page. You're going to be behind if you are running Google ads and Facebook ads. You need to start recording those, otherwise you're going to be very stressed on Thanksgiving break, whenever I need to be getting these things ready so they can start running 1st of December. So I hope that's all super helpful for you. If you have any questions at all about doing it on your own, feel free to reach out. If you're a customer of ours, we have some ways that we can really connect with you on our support system. Just email us support@10apps.com. We'd love to help you get ready and best reach people in your community. And again, if you're a part of our church growth package, you'll be hearing from us soon if you haven't already heard from us. And we're going to be getting some of those service details from you as far as like what time is your service, those types of things. So be sure and reply to those emails if you're part of our church growth package, because we need that information to be able to build these ads and these pages out well. So be sure and reply to those. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We've got more coming. There's a lot more to do even as Christmas gets closer. So be sure and join us for our December webinar, where we're going to be diving a little bit deep on some other things that you need to really be looking out for and getting ready for Christmas.